Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I was trying to think what to show you, so I'm going to actually decorate this little paper bag journal. Everybody loves paper bag journals, and I just love them so much because you can put anything and everything and just got lying around pieces and parts, things you want to get rid of, put it in a paper bag journal, and it works. So here's what I'm going to show you as a sneaky peek. And do you recognize these people? These are the people from the front of that one sticker book, and I just dearly love them. And I'm going to actually get that sticker book again. I've got it on my shopping cart on, I think it's scrapbook.com or something. So I found it again. Ooh. So anyhow, this was like a doodad, like a backdrop or something in one of those layers and paper dolls packages. And so I pulled that out. Here's one of the windows that was in there as well, I think it was. And then there was one that was called The Mad Scientist. Well, at first I thought I was going to put some bars in front of these people's faces to make it look like they were in jail. And these three came off the front of the sticker book. I didn't have any more, but I cut them in a way that they went in each one of those panels. So that's a way to use up some of your items. I've got a skull on the front of one of the sticker books that I used for something else as well. So I thought, oh, well, maybe these all people look like mad scientists. So this is pieces and parts they use in our laboratory. All right, so we're going to flip it. And I have these little boys. I used their heads like I had done before on some other little boys. I cut their heads off to use later on. You'll see it. So I cut these off of the front of the sticker book as well. And I put it on top of their body. So I just put mischief here. And I've got like the moon. What do you call that? Transparencies. There's some stuff it's called transparencies. So that's what's back there. And here's a little goodie I think Chestita sent me. Yeah, I think it was in that big box of goodies she sent me that one time. And so here is the cemetery. We've got a couple ghosties, some bats, and I picked out the word ghost of the departed and put a boo here. And I'm using papers that are like 3 inches mostly, and they're just cut-offs from that one book. I think it's Theodosia Square. But I'd used all these pieces and parts, pages before I cut down, I think for like last year's books, and I had them left over and I wanted to use them up. Now, this is sort of a funereal page, I guess you would call it. We got this in loving remembrance of, and I thought her name was on here somewhere, but it's not. But I put this funeral warehouse over here and the spooky spider, and I did some, I have like one of these that's got the garden, something about a beautiful garden. So I cut up some plants and things to put in here. This is a couple of people that possibly one of them died, maybe the mother died, and I had life and death over here, so that's what I kind of did to that page. Over here, as you see, the little boys. These are the flower heads I make a lot. And so I put Fright down here. I've got another one of those little crazy cards. I don't know. It looks like an invisible man on that one. And I've got Almost Lost His Head. Over here, I've got the owl. And I couldn't resist putting this backdroppy thing that was from the pack. Here, one of my made-up moons. And I cut the owl out of his little card. And I put him on there that way. And I just put Deep in the Dark Swamp. I put him a clock over here. And inside here, I've got some, like, I had pumpkin pages, and I wasn't going to do a thing with them. So I cut them up and put them in here as the writing implements. Another crazy-looking page. This one's got the witchies on it. So we got Elmira is a curious woman. Here's her little familiar kitty. I had to put this on here for the for the poison part, and a little skull and crossbones, but it goes with this orange over here. And this is just a bunch of fillers. Then we got the witch here, double, double, toil and trouble, wool of bat, and tongue of dog. It didn't rhyme, but you get the gist. And here's all of her equipment. And she's got her a few bats. And then we have this one with this creepy little lady. I should have thinned this out, but I forgot to. But I just put watching and waiting on hers. And then here, I like that background. It's got a cow here. And it's got a horse pulling like a little wagon. But I put this bird in here just to kind of make it look a little creepy. And I got a vast flock of black-winged birds. So there you go. There is the... trying to see if I had another interesting looking card to show you. One of these had a really big pumpkin on it. Probably that one's the one I was thinking of. Okay, so they're my little creepy people. I love them. I just love them. Well, I'm collecting me up a good bunch of paper bag journals. I got another one here I got to show you maybe tomorrow. Gave you a little sneaky peek of that one. Or the next video, I mean. And then we got this one that I've got all the pages prepped up and everything. And I've got to put it all together. And it's going to be kind of similar to the last one I just showed you. See, I've got this lady with this frame. So she's going to go on one of the pages. And we're going to put her over here. And these little guys are going to go on one of the pages. And it's sort of a layout that I did on one of the other paper bag journals I showed you. We've got the house, the haunted house, that's going to go against the moon. So that's going to be on another page. And then my front cover is sort of done. It was one of, let me show you. Okay, so it was one of these backdroppy things that they put in the see, there's like it's like a cathedral window kind of situation. I love this window here, but then I had some of these cracked window acetate pages, so one of them went over top of that, and then I glued on the window piece. Well, I had the little boys, situated where they were in each one of the panes here. And then I wanted something to be coming out or look like it was coming out of the window. So I'm going to glue that bird right there, like he came out. So that's the idea there. And they're going to go on this upper panel piece. I like that on that other one I did. And then the From Regions Beyond will go here. And that will be my cover. But I won't be doing that until the very end. So we'll sit all that over. Now this still needs the rubber band to hold it together, but here's basically what I've got inside of it so far. Got a few pieces and parts up here I'm probably going to use. You can see it. Did a little bit more die cutting. Yeah, everything's glued together. I've got little panels and pieces in here. I don't have my cards. I always do those at the end that I tuck into there. That's a nice kind of light page for something of interest. And then the darker pages go good. Like this would be good for the ghosts. I've got like a little cemetery thingy that could go here. And it looks like sort of a dark sky. This one is quite bright. I don't know if that would really stand out on it. I like the keys because it's like the keys to the house. That's sort of my situation there. I just don't know if I like it the best there. And then I've got this one with the big greenery. That kind of looks like they're in the woods, though, doesn't it? I got to make sure the steeple stays in there. So that's not bad. It needs, because of that light moon, it needs like a dark background. Like this is, this might be a good one. And then the little cemetery could go over here. So let's do that. Where's my cemetery? I did find a little phrase while I was flipping through and putting phrases on the other part. I'm walking in the graveyard now. And I thought, whoop, that's perfect. Let me snatch a couple ghosts. There's one. Here's another. Oh, I think I'm missing. No, he's buried under there. I thought I was missing a ghost, but I'm not. Want to thank everybody for coming to visit and seeing what I'm doing today. I posted my second short yesterday that was, it's not like a complete flip through of one of my skeleton graveyard journals, but it's close. It's got a little bit to it. But yeah, I've posted that. I will do full flip throughs of everybody here toward the end. I'll take each subject matter, like one's a witch and one's the skeleton graveyardy thing, and the other one's the scarecrow. And I will take those and do little videos, flip throughs, and show you what all I actually got done. Now, I still have a little bit to do in that one. Which one? And I don't know if you would like to see that, so I may just record it. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see me finish the last 3 pages, I think it is. Because I didn't really get that many views on the last one I did where I decorated the first part, so I wasn't sure if y'all were kind of tired of that now or not. Yeah, it's just becoming kind of repetitive now, isn't it? So I'm trying to figure out something else. I am going to show you what I got done so far. Well, I think I showed you maybe. The little simple journals, I got the 4 ready to go. I still got to get my ink and my computer printer to print out. I've got like a spider thing in there from Pink Monarch Prints that I used the other year on, I think, Poe's journal. And it had a lot of cool little images and pieces and parts, and I think I can use that to really decorate up one of them with a spider motif. I know some of y'all are thinking, oh God, no. But it's something in the spooky range, you know. I haven't done anything with Dracula or Frankenstein. I mean, some of those other monsters, it's like I'm using what Tim Holtz has got going, but I haven't seen anything other than that. Now, I've got something I'm going to get with a haunted house. I'm going to order that, and I may be doing something later on, some tags, kind of interesting tags that I saw Zoe Hillman do, and I really want to emulate or use her tags as inspiration. They were like different layerings. I have to get some black foam pads, and that's what went in between each layer that kind of hid everything, but everything was mostly like browns. You had your vintage photo, you had your possibly ground espresso, maybe the tea dye she had. It was very interesting. I got to get a screenshot of it if I can get back to that exact blog page of hers. I'm on her blog. You can actually get on there and sign up for a lot of his people's. They do their blogs, and they'll be telling you what they did on some of the projects you see him showing on his videos, which is kind of cool. And they'll go through and give you exactly what they used on each one. Now, I've got a stamp that's sort of this manor. I think it's a haunted manor or something. And I have a stamp that's similar to it, but this has other pieces that kind of give you more of a 3-dimensional look. That's like 1-800-Samsung. That was where I was calling them the other day to try to get them to help me with my printer, or my my problem with doing my video and downloading or uploading it. Didn't get any use that way. They weren't even worth the call. Ugh. Please. It's pretty bad when you got to figure out your own technical issues. And they can't do anything to help you. Alright, let me get all my goodies on here. I haven't had much of any excitement happening lately. Oop, I got one still stuck in there. Let's see if I can get it to pop out. I think it did. Our little deers are still showing up in the yard. Spike comes to get his apple. I don't think anybody else likes apples. I don't understand it. I thought deers were crazy about apples. We didn't have any hit the ground this year, that's for sure, that they could go out there and eat. I think in the spring, everything got frozen. We just had the frost hit and took care of every one of the blooms, so there was nothing that was really going to be produced. No produce to be produced. Okay, I think... No, let's go up. Let's go up to about here. That's good. Although, I like the little peak to be a little straighter up in the air. Do you hear that guy behind us? I think that's a muzzle loader or something, but he's been shooting the last 2 or 3 days. I think he's practicing, but he's getting on my nerves. I thought you only shot it to get the sights right. Maybe he's such a horrible shot that he's got to keep shooting. I don't know. It's getting on my nerves. Okay, so we are going to put, maybe on this page we'll do our little boys. So we want to cut, or let me cap my glue. Okay, let me get in here and kind of thin down everything to a smaller version of itself, just so it wasn't so thick and bulky, and doesn't hurt anything on the front whatsoever. So if you ever need to do this, just get in there a few layers. Try not to do just the first layer because you'll rip it. I've tried to rip it too close. See, it's about the thickness of about 4 or 5 papers or something. But you could just start ripping it and see if it'll agree with you. And if it keeps coming away, you know you did it. You did it. So this is the part that actually goes over, and I've used that doorway. Let me see if I can find it. Oh. It's actually on this one, that the paper bag journal I'm going to show you on the next video. But it goes over here, or, that's what I've seen one of the creators do with it. But I decided to make it like it's the seal. And then I need to do the window as well. And I got to put these little people in it. I've almost used up all my creepy Halloween paper bag, or not paper bag, paper doll people. I'm getting there. I do have a few of the the portrait ones that I still need to do. Now these little boys have to be cut apart. You're not going to see these arms. Oop. Beware. Cutting off of amputating parts there. Okay. So we're going to put him here. And then I don't know if I want him that high. I guess why not? There, that's better. I didn't want to see the part of his legs because he looked like he was a little too high up in there. Okay, high in the instep. That's what they call it, don't they? Okay, we're going to lightly put us some glue there. And I'm using fabric tack now. And we're going to put this guy in here. right there. And I'm going to cut the legs off. Well, I might not have to cut the legs off because that's going to be there to hide them. All right, and I need the next one here. And it looks like Mutt and Jeff. They look like they could get into all kinds of trouble, too. All right, so I have these little pieces that stick out just a little bit at the top. So what I have to do is I got to actually glue this on first. Okay, let's go with this one. And I got to hold that little window up to make sure I'm gluing it in the right spot. I don't really want to put this over that little tip because it would ruin the aspect of the window, you know. Okay, so this goes here. And then this is going to go about right here. Yeah, that works for me. And then we got our other one to do. Come on. I'm forever having to fill this little baby up because doing these paper bag journals, it's easier to put the papers down with the fabric tack. It's cheaper too, you know. So I think right there is perfect. Perfect. And make sure I get it straight. You got plenty of wiggle room when you've got fabric tack. So see, I'm still able to slide it around and get it to be right where I need it to be. I need one more good slide. Do I have it? There. Okay. There. That's good. Now this is going to hide their feet. Yep, I don't have to worry about cutting their feet off. You just had to watch me amputate their arms. Let me get in here with some more fabric tack. Oop. So I've got a little overflow situation here. We'll put that to our good use. There we go. It works for me. Put the cap on it a lot of times just to have it not dry out on me. There. These shutters, you know, sometimes you don't have a page big enough. This is actually a 6-inch page, so it's got a lot of room. Whereas when you're doing like a regular scrapbook page or, you know, journal page, it's only like 5.5 at the spine. So actually it's even less than that you got to work with. So putting these shutters on some of these windows just doesn't work. There's just not enough room. So it works perfectly to use them in one of these paper bag journals. Okay, I think that's good enough. See, that's kind of a cool look, isn't it? Now I'm just going to push it down, make sure everybody's down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I think we're just going to go ahead and take and put this lady over here on the other side, since they're both sort of the, you know, the window frame. She's got a frame, they got a window kind of situation. So we're just going to do that. And the bottom is here with the number. That's the only way I can tell it's the bottom. So, but you know, it actually, yeah, you got the trunk going up here. So that's definitely the bottom. So I always use my little tweezers because I don't want to get this fabric tack all over me. I'll tell you, you're peeling the rest of the evening. Now, if you wanted to get, even if you wash your hands, you're still got it, it's on there. But if you get hand sanitizer, it is a very good way of getting a lot of this off. You got to like put the sanitizer on and then hit it with the paper towel and scrub a little right afterward. That's the best way of getting fabric tack off of your fingers. Oops, I forgot to glue her around the edge first. So now I've got to get back in here and glue the back of her. Oh, okay. All right, she didn't need that much. Let's get this on here and see what we got. Oh, she's moving. She's a-moving. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, come on, lady, stick. Let me see if I can get it all in one shot. Good grief. Okay, I'm going to butt her right up against that and put her down. She had all kinds of ideas of her own, but I didn't want her to do that. Okay. Now, the only thing left I would probably ever do is put like a word or something on here. I don't think it needs anything else. It's just kind of to give you the creepies when you're flipping through, basically. I bent the end of her little goodie here. So let's put a little bit of glue up underneath that. And see if we can bend it down a tad. There we go. So, what is next? I don't know exactly what to put on this page because it's so light. But I was running out of the dark stuff. And this has got a little white kind of thing sticking there. So I'm going to dull it down. And then we got this bright one and the tree one. I really need a lot more stuff, don't I? I've got the word wicked I cut out of something. And I've got this little witchy looking thing here that I can put together on this page. And the orangies kind of all go together here. I got like the word liniment in this red color. So that might work. I've also got a little bit of light on this thing. And I have a spider and some kitties and some like plants, and that's about it. Let me start looking. Okay, I found this lady in this creepy door with a big lock on it. So I think we're going to use that for this page. I'm trying to use up all these doors and windows and things so I can start fresh next year. And maybe I'll buy a few things from this year if I like it a lot. I do have my creepy people. You know, my creepy people. I gotta get them. Now this is a little, it's going to show in the window, and I'm not sure I like that. Now see, I got the keys around the outside edge, which is great. But see, if I go up a little bit with that, I got it showing. Now I could cut it off. I don't know if I want that background. Huh. Look at that. You never know what you're going to find out when you go and piddle with things. Yeah, that'll work. Works for me. Oh, I'll push them in there later. Okay, so the liniment. Oh no, I need to thin that door out because it is thick. This door's kind of on the thick side. Now she'll go on top of the door. I probably need to pull out the fabric tack again. Just gotta be careful around those windows. I don't know if I could keep that other part of that door and use it for something. You know, some of these pieces that you pull off, you could actually use that for something else. Peel off this side and color it up some. And then I got that frame. Yeah, you could get Oh gosh, in the window. Look at the little window. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of these things. I'm going to just put these to the side for now. See what I can do with them later. I'm sure you'll be interested to see if I can get an image or something on them where they're useful again. Now this, I'm going to go ahead and kind of put a little glue right here for this crazy liniment thing. And I'm leaving a little bit of that color showing to kind of pull in from over there as well. Okay, so that's all I needed for that. I do want to use the other glue though, because it's going to hold a whole lot better. Or, well, not exactly that. It's thicker, and I think it will hold against this ripped board better. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. There we go. We'll get our other little goodie in here in a minute. So we're going to put, oop. I'll wipe some of that fabric tack on there. When you get it on there, you can see it. Now, they say there's something you can do if you don't like the shiny part showing up. And I think it's to use some of his glue that he has in the little bottle. And I think it comes in other containers as well. But it's usually in one of those little vial or bottle tubby things. But you can rub that over and it gets rid of the sheen. It makes it matte. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these in here like they're a window pane. Oops. Alright. That will blast out that flower for me. Thank you. This one's got a little bit of writing on it. I think that's right side up. Who knows? There. And it's going to cover enough of that you can't see it. You got a tiny, tiny little piece in there you can still see. But I don't think I need to worry about it. There, yeah. I pulled that down just a tad, so that took care of that. I'll tell you what, I'm actually gonna, I got another one over here, and I'm gonna trim that down. And we're going to use those two little pieces in here. So let me, oh gosh, my glue's going haywire. Now, whenever it bubbles out, I don't know why it's doing that, because if you do fill it, it does fix that issue when you have it bubbling over like that. I don't know if it's pressure down inside. I'm trying to wipe off the nose too. But I think there's a pressure down in there that makes it go a little haywire like that. Okay. Now, let's see what we can do. Put that in here. That's going to finish my panel for me, so it doesn't look odd. You know me. I don't like anything to look odd. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that'll be perfect. Then she could have her hand on the door, window-y thing right there. Perfect. Sometimes when you rip these things, you gotta pull down your corners a bit again. So let's put her here. I'm thinking her as a witch. She did come in the creepy pack, so I'm assuming She is supposed to be a witch. Okay, so we're going to put her right here. There we go. Can you imagine having to wear all of this clothes way back when? I don't think I could have. I would have been prostrate on the sleeping couch or whatever those things. The it wasn't a lounge. They had a special word for it, and I can't remember exactly what that was now. So I'm going to put her on something else. She's a little too small. Let me see what I got. Well, I tried out a few different papers, but I think I like this one the best. It's got this grungy look to it. So we're going to go ahead and put our witchy lady on this grungy paper. And kind of put her down here. I don't have any plans for anything else with this paper. So we'll put her down here where we can get some grunge on the bottom and on the top. And I'm going to pull in the trimmer and cut off a bit around. Okay, and then this one. Make the bottom a little longer. There we go. Who knows, I might be able to use these on a master board or something. I gotta eventually do something with all of these scraps. I'm forever digging in them, trying to use them up, but they'll catch up to you eventually. They really do. So you've got nothing you can really do about it. And I might round these corners. Let's go ahead and round the corners. That was the medium size corner rounder. Yeah. She needed a little variation. Sometimes to give a little interest, you can round your corners and such. And there we go. Now, get her in the center. And then our word wicked underneath of her. And it's got a few of the colors in the wicked. Now this is kind of hard to hold and put the glue on at the same time, but I will try it. Got tiny, tiny little pieces. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this fall season is hitting awfully fast. It's just, I'm amazed how quickly it's going. I mean, it went from the wettest spring and summer, and then Mom kept swearing it was going to have a drought. She swore up and down there was going to be a drought. And I said, when is this drought? I said, it's rained every day. I said, and then some. So it finally just all of a sudden the shadowing, changed, and that makes you think about fall. And so fall was here, and now it's like I've got to put me a little blanket on in the afternoon. We can put our windows open to a certain point, and then when the sun starts going down, not long after that, you better cover up. Okay, so I think as far as I can see, that is done. I don't have anything else. Maybe a little spider that we could add down. Like, it needs something here. It just needs a little tiny something. And these little spiders are so cute. Okay. So he's going to dangle right here. You gotta, you gotta try to get the stem to come down straight. That's the hard part. There we go. And then dab the excess glue off of it. Now, see, it needed something to unbalance it. You know, when it didn't have that there, it was just too parallel with each other. Okay. So we have this page, which I have no clue as yet what to put there. Then we have, make sure my little guys, when I glue the pages together, I have to make sure that these stay open. This doesn't have too much on it. I do have a spooky branch and some bats. It needs bats. That's what's missing over here. So I've got me a branch that can come in. Ooh, that kind of looks good. So let's add that to our picture. And I'm going to get out there and cut up another macaroni salad, I believe. He's got some goodies, I think, from the garden again. The last things he's gotten. And I don't want him to go to waste, so a macaroni salad is always the best thing to make. I kind of like this going across this house like that. It really ties the scene together. Now I'm going to have to put me a few bats. I've got some of these bats I cut out the other day. I've been craving watching my Dino Hunters again. I saved both seasons. That it never came back again. It only had 2 seasons. And I dearly loved it. It was like about 4 years ago, that it came out. And it was mostly around the Montana area and stuff like that. That these people were, they have ranches there. But because, you know, the cattle prices were going down and different things like that, they're having trouble making ends meet on their ranches. So they were going out and digging for dinosaur bones. You know, a couple bones of a certain type of dinosaur is worth bukus of money to a lot of museums. And oh, sorry, I had a flag coming here after me. I got the basement door open so the kitties could go out. And the flies, they must they know when to come in. So anyway, it was such an interesting show. I don't know whether I want my bird there or the spider. So I recorded them, and I kept wishing and wishing for another season. I don't... Did he just come in screen? I'm going to go after him here in a minute. It's getting on my nerves. Stupid fly. Ugh. Might have to bury him with some of his brethren out there. Oh, I got a spot in here. It didn't come out. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I was watching it. That second season was really cool because they had unearthed what looked like, and what a lot of other scientists or archaeologists or whatever that is, paleontologists, I don't know what their name is, but anyhow, there wasn't enough fossil record for this one little dinosaur, and he was like a little miniature Tyrannosaurus Rex. So the other bones and things that had been found over time, because he never had a complete skeleton, they only had little partial pieces, they thought it was a juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, they found a complete skeleton in the second season of this little guy, and had all of, I mean, they could prove that his, something about either it was his, something was fused already, like in his hands or in his skull or something like that, that proved he was adult to where they could say this is not a juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know if anybody else is into dinosaurs. I love them. They're one of my things. So I just got to go watching it again. I'm debating putting my little scary lady. I think I'll put her up here. And that'll get her off my desk. There we go. Her collars really go well right here too. And I don't think she'll be covered up by the little taggy thing that I'll put in here. So that'll work out really good. Alright, I still got a crow. Now the crow may be really good, like right here. Or right here. Here is better because you can see more of him against the background. So yeah, I got a craving to go watch that again. I've also recorded Surreal Estate. Now that was another favorite. Me and Zach both were crazy about Surreal Estate. And then we were waiting and waiting for it to come back. It was like the same season that the Dino Hunters came out. And then, you know, nothing. we kept Googling it and everything else. And finally, it came out again. And I never got around to watching it. Now, I'm always going in here on this crow and dotting where I think his eye is at. That just gives him a little more life instead of just like a black outline. So I like to do that. Now, I'm going to have a crow on the very front as well. So I'm kind of debating that. Because I have him here, and then you'll flip it open, and there will be another crow right there. But I have a kitty cat. I don't know that you're going to see a lot of the crack or whatever. I mean, I could do a ghost. You know, that, and he would really, really show up better, too. Let's see what we can do with this ghost. Like he's coming out of the cathedral. Oh, he might be perfect. Now, the other one, he's reaching up, so I don't think he's a good pick for this. He's like being held up by the robbers. So we might not pick him for this choice. I have some more of my plant life, and those bats won't work, so I think that's what we're going to do. We will go ahead and see if we can ink him up just a little bit and get him ready for the front. I got a couple more pages in here I got to fill up, but to tell you the truth, right now I'm not really sure what I can put on them. So at least you got to see me covering a few of these things, and then I'm going to put this cover on while we're at it, and you'll have a chance to have seen at least this part of it. I mean, I'm now down to the nitty-gritty, y'all. I'm reaching and searching for stuff to actually add to these paper bag journals and things now because I've used it all. I have used it all. Okay, so we're going to actually kind of put him like he's coming out like right there, like he's coming right out of that window. Going to glue his little hand down so he doesn't lose it. He's already lost everything else. He doesn't want to lose his hand. Okay. I know y'all think I drink, but I don't. I don't drink alcohol at all. I just have a warped sense of humor. I do drink some Coke Zero. Which is very flat. Very flat. Okay. So the way I usually do, let me do a flip through of what we got done so far before I get to the front. So we got all of our goodies here that went together to make the perfect like little window, like in a castle or creepy a creepy mansion or mausoleum or something. We got our lady over here, and she looks like she could have been in a mausoleum area too. Then we got this one to fill up, which I have no clue unless I'll go in here with some of these, and I don't know, maybe I'll make up a tombstone or something. I have no clue. So anyhow, then we have our creepy mansion here with some bats and a spider, and then we got our graveyard over here, and then we have the door to the dungeon, or whatever you wouldn't think it would be. If you needed some liniment, you could take that down with you. I really like these two panel thingies here. And then we got Wicked over here with this little witchy lady. And then we have this green spread to do. So I may do these on this other panel to kind of tie into the back area, because I've got some greens and stuff going here. I was just cutting stuff out of some plain. This will be a perfect spot for them to journal, actually, right in here. So I don't know. I could put me a cat down here and just something else to tie into the theme that wouldn't take the whole area. Now, we'll go ahead and flip this, or just take the outside if I need to. But we need to get over here to glue in, and we're going to use fabric tack. So where's my... I'm going to glue in our cover. So I've already got the ghosty on there, and the word is from Regions Beyond that I chose, so that would be perfect to go with the ghost. Those little boys were touring the old church, and they spooked up a ghost. You know how those old churches usually would have like old people that were big patrons of the day, or had paid for the church to be built, and they would actually be buried inside. maybe it's one of those ghosts that the little boy spooked up. I bet they were stomping on his grave and he didn't like it, so he said, I'm getting out of here. Kids are crazy. Alright, I'm going to put this right down below here. I didn't peel any peelings off of this front stuff because I don't think that it needs it, because it can take the height. So we are going to lay this down like this and hold it in for a minute. Okay, I found something to put on these pages, but I won't be able to have time to do it with you today. But they're simple enough. It's these little frames that Chestita sent me. And in some of these packs, they gave you these kind of like family looking layouts. Like this one's got different words on the bottom, like where like Shelbyville, Indiana was taken. This one doesn't really have anything, but I thought they'd be kind of cool to put back here, just so I can get rid of them. And I really don't have anything spooky, so I can put some spooky words with that. And then in that pack that Chestita sent me, she also sent me these two little things of paper, and I thought, well, you know, I could put those down here at the bottom, like they're I can cut them down and put them in there like they're the witch's goodies that she works with. And this is in one of those layers and paper dolls pieces, and I'm wondering about maybe cutting it in half and putting it half here and half there, right over like a moon rising. I don't know exactly what the devil it is. It's like everything is upside down. It's like a lot of places, though. Like there's Caledonia and Friendly Isles. I don't exactly know what it is per se, but St. Louis, New Orleans. And then over here we got New York, Philadelphia, Washington, Baltimore. I have no clue what this thing is. So we might just use it on here. It kind of goes in with the background and everything. And then we'll just leave it as is. That's got enough spookiness with that. All right, I hope everybody had a great visit and got to see a few things and enjoyed decorating a paper bag journal with me. Now, don't be afraid of doing these. They're so simple. They're just so simple. You're just taking a paper bag, folding it in half, and what I'll do is I'll usually pick all my papers and stuff out and cut them down. And I would like to put this one in first before I glue these two little flaps down. That's the base of the bag. And then I also will go in here and there's usually that little cutout, that little half moon kind of cutout thing. So I take another piece of like paper bag and I like to put that over top of it, unless you just want to rely on your paper. But the thing is, when you glue your paper in, that glue will go through that little half moon part and glue to the back side. That's the only part you want that's tricky. You got to watch out for that. But other than that, all you do is fold in half then. I use 3 of them. These are the large ones at Walmart, the large lunch bags. And then I put 2 rubber bands in here. I found one will wear out fast. So if you got a second one in there, it'll stay in a whole lot, longer. So, and then you just kind of decorate it up. You put 2 pieces of it's 6 inches this way, your card, but it's only like 5 3/4 this way, because I felt it was too tight to slide them in and out. Now you can nip the corners off if you want. You can use one of these to cut your corners of the little journal cards that go inside if you want. I just nip the corners anymore. And then you've got 3 of these little areas here that only go in about this far, that you can put like a little tiny journal card that can be written on. So it's got a lot of journaling room. That's what the great thing about it is. Now, look how cool that is, isn't it? That's just fun. There's little boys in there scaring the ghosts. And I can still see my cute window up there. Okay, everybody have a great day. I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.